A new report says China's mistreatment of the Uyghur religious minority amounts to, quote, modern-day slavery. The special report was commissioned by the United Nations. It cites the use of forced labor in agriculture and manufacturing in one region in the northwest part of the communist country. Beijing says that it is merely providing work opportunities for the minority population. And we go now to Nury Turkel, chair of the U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom. Nury, great to have you on. Let's talk more about this report. I'm curious, what struck you the most about it?
The report has actually validated what has been reported already by various media organizations, NGO reports, even the reports published by U.S. Congress and the State Department. So this is something not new to the general public. I hope that we can translate this into a real action. A lot of concerns being expressed on a societal level, governmental level, but where is the action? Why, to this day, there's no single company that includes companies like Nike, Coca-Cola, Heinz Ketchup, and others, not even admitting publicly that there's a human rights abuses, let alone acknowledging the ongoing genocide against the Uyghur people. When you look back, the global responses after Putin's invasion of Ukraine, a significant number of global businesses either suspended or pulled out of Russia. It took several days. But for the Chinese Communist Party's orchestrated slave labor practices, even to this day, even the genocide in its 6th year, there's no single company even mildly acknowledged that they have a problem in China in the business practices. So the corporate America, global businesses need to get onto the right side of the history. They are not helping. The governmental action only take us to a certain place, but it's not going to completely resolve the problem. The other piece is now this is UN acknowledged practices, modern day slavery. I call on and urge the European community, European Parliament and the member states to put in place legislative mandate like the way that our government has done through Uyghur Forced Labor Prevention Act to address this modern day slavery. And modern day slavery is enslavement of vulnerable religious ethnic groups is something that we have seen in the history. And now we're letting this history to repeat because of our addiction to cheap consumer products coming from China and filling up our homes and stores. So essentially, the global community, global consumer community, in a way, fueling this political economy that is linked to the modern day slavery, where China has polluted global supply chain with slave-made products.
Nury, we talked about the forced labor, and we've talked about the Uyghurs on this program before with you. For those maybe this is new to them, learning about it, I also want to talk about other reports of forced sterilization and late-term abortions being performed on Uyghur women, that is, over in China. What more can you tell us about these atrocities?
One of the most harrowing aspect of the ongoing genocide involves women and children. Today, the Chinese authorities, through direct or indirect involvement of people's private lives, the ability to have a normal family life, an ability to conceive a child, has been controlled by the Chinese government. I recently published a book. In my book, I have a chapter specifically discussing China's war on Uyghur women. In it, I have profiled the Uyghur camp victims, camp survivors, telling me horrifying stories that they have to take this mysterious pill to control their period. They also control their emotion. They control their ability to get pregnant. In one instance, one of the survivors told me that she was forced to sterilize, even though she's over 50-year-old, and had no plan to get pregnant. And even by China's own admission, there's a significant drop in the natural population growth. In just 1 year, we're talking about 65% in one county. Mm-hmm. So this is an unspeakable truth that the international community that had to come to grip with and came to face. with this brutal reality. And then the other piece is involving children. Based on various reports, the Chinese government is operating a modern-day children's camp through boarding schools. They have an innocuous name that they have locked up children, a significant number of children. We're talking about 800,000 to 1 million, as reported in the New York Times.
It's such a horrible situation over there, Nury, and we really thank you for coming on and shining a light on this. I wish we had more time. We'll have to get you back on again so we can delve a little further to it. But thank you so much for talking with us, and thank you for all that you do.
Thank you.